morning traders, and welcome to this week's Forex Focus, a show where we look ahead at some opportunities that could be setting up in the Forex markets. Now, I hope you all had a good week in the markets, both before and after the election. There were some great moves to be had there, particularly with the Euro Aussie. As I said, it's set up before the election, exactly the way that we talked about it last week. And then after the election, there was also some nice moves on some of the shorter term timeframes that you could have got involved in. In this week's episode, we're going to talk about a trade that's a little bit different to the one that we've spoken about with regards to the Euro Aussie last week or the oil trade the week before. Both of those trades were bounces off of resistance levels or rejections of resistance levels. And in this week's show, we're going to talk about a breakdown of a trend line, which is another type of trade that Nick and I really like to take if it plays itself out. So without further ado, let's jump over to the charts and talk about the setup for this week. So the trade that we're looking at this week one of the trades that we're looking at this week is the New Zealand dollar. And what we have here is a market. In fact, let's zoom out a little bit so you can see basically that there's actually been a very big downwards trend since 2014. So since July of 2014, the market has been moving down. And then literally in the past year, it's been pulling back a little bit, but it wasn't anywhere near, doesn't have anywhere near the sort of momentum as that down move had over here. And now what we're seeing is the market has been trending up, but as I said, it's been a little bit more shallow and doesn't have as much momentum. So it almost looks like at some point that big major downtrend that started in 2014 is going to reassert itself. And we think that could play out this week. And what we're looking for is the market to break this trend line here. You can see that this trend line has been providing the market support over and over again. So back in January of this year, then May of this year, and then again just last month in October, the market bounced off of that level. It is conceivable that it could bounce off of this level again, and if it does that, then we would be looking to take a play to the upside and at least see if the market can get up towards these highs here. And if it then breaks out above, we'd then look for a resumption of the trend of this last year. However, it obviously has been shallow, as I said, but we would be looking for a resumption of that to the upside over here. However, what we would favor, the trade that we think is a higher probability trade, is if the market were to break this trend line. And what we'd be looking for is the market to break the trend line, maybe pull back a little bit and kind of give it a bit of a retest before finally breaking through below this low here and then below the low that it would print if it broke beneath this trend line there. That would then be a signal for us to get short, and we'd have a very nice risk reward trade on our hands there. We'd have our stop above the highs. So if you could either put it above the 0.7418, or if you're happy to leave it a little bit further out above the 0.750 level, and then you'd be looking for the market to come all the way down to the zero spot even 6347 area. So you'd be looking to get in somewhere around the 70 level. You've got your stop either above at 7.4 or 7.5, so about a 500 pip stop, but then you've got roughly a 700 or so pip target on your hands there. So very nice risk reward trade there. Also, if it were to break this, it'll be quite a high probability one. Okay, so that's one of the trades that we're looking at for next week. That's one of our favorite ones for next week anyway. I hope you enjoyed this. Please remember that this is for educational purposes only. So none of the trades that we talk about in the Forex Focus are investment advice in any way whatsoever. Nicky and I are not authorized or regulated to give investment advice. We're literally just giving you trading ideas, showing you what we're looking to do with our own trading accounts. Then you have to go when you need to do your own due diligence and decide for yourself whether or not those sorts of trades are things that you're interested in and whether it fits with your own risk parameters and risk profile. Okay, so if you like the video, please give it a thumbs up, subscribe, post a comment, all of that kind of good stuff. We do enjoy reading your comments. If you're interested in other trade ideas, Nicky and I put out a service every single week. It's called the Money File. I'll post a link beneath the video, and basically you get trades like this and a whole heap more Basically, you get every trade that we're looking at for the week ahead. So if you're interested, as I said, click the link below, give us a thumbs up. Otherwise, thank you very much for watching, and I look forward to seeing you in next week's Forex Focus. Take care now and have a good week's trading.